Instructional video on pelvic examination. Before I start in this video, as a full disclosure, I am a full-time faculty of the Davao Medical School Foundation College of Medicine. I am not in contract or part of the manufacturing companies of any of the equipments, products that will be shown in this video. Let us start. Preparing the patient. Greet the patient and introduce yourself. Explain why a pelvic exam is needed. Secure a verbal consent. Offer a chaperone during the procedure, especially if you are a male. Then tell your patient to transfer and lie on the examining table in a dorsal lithotomy position as soon as you were able to secure a verbal consent. Now let's watch the video. Hello. Good day, Miss Noel. I am Dr. Fides Sababon, your gynecologist for today. I hope that you are feeling great despite your symptoms. I am here today to perform a special procedure called pelvic examination. It is divided into three parts, namely the inspection of your vulvar area, the bimanual examination, and the rectovaginal examination. These procedures are necessary in order for me to assess your reproductive organs, and it will also help me to know if you have problems in those areas. May I know if you agree to undergo the said procedures? Is it okay for me to proceed? If you have doubts and you want to know more, you can ask me anything. Oh, thank you for giving your consent. Now, may I know if you want your watcher to accompany you inside the room when we are doing the procedures? It is fine if you want somebody with you. Miss Noel, because you agreed to undergo those examinations, may I ask you then to transfer to the other room so that you can lie on the examining table for me to begin the procedure. Thank you. See you there. Let's continue. The first part of the pelvic examination is the inspection. Instruct the patient to lie in the dorsal lithotomy position. Verify if she had emptied her bladder prior to lying down. Inspect the external genitalia, looking at the skin around the vulva, clitoris, perineum, and towards the anus. Inspect the labia minora, the vaginal wall, the Bartholin's glands, and the skin's glands also. After that, you may want to ask the patient to bear down a little bit or to strain to assess the muscular tone of the pelvic floor. Let us watch the video now. Pelvic examination, the inspection. Start by wearing gloves on both hands and verify if the patient had emptied her bladder prior to lying down. You have to drape the patient properly and expose only the perineum to be examined. Ask for some lubricants to be used later. Now, inspect the vulva looking at the skin around the perineum, clitoris, urethral meatus, and anus. Check for any discolorations, nodules, or masses, as well as discharges. Insert then the finger into the vagina and palpate the walls. Note for any nodules or masses and tenderness. Inspect the area of the Bartholin's glands as well as the area of the skin's glands, and note for any irregularities. Now, ask the patient to cough or bear down so that you can assess the tone of the pelvic floor muscles. Let's proceed with the second part of the pelvic examination, the bimanual exam. First, lubricate the index and middle finger of the dominant hand. Insert the index and middle finger on the vaginal canal in a vertical manner and slowly rotate it into the horizontal axis. Locate and feel the cervix with the inserted fingers and assess the position, size, shape, consistency, and mobility of the cervix. Continue then to assess the position, size, shape, consistency, and mobility of the uterus as well. Identify if there are some nodularity or masses and tenderness. To feel a retroverted uterus, the fingers are swept to the posterior fornix and the abdominal wall is pressed downwards by the other hand. Check the adnexae on both sides also. You have to move the vaginal fingers in both the fornices and move the abdominal hand over the patient's iliac fossa, and take note for any abnormalities by palpating in between fingers of both hands. After removal of the inserted fingers, check for presence or absence of blood, feces, or discharges. Let's watch the video. Let's proceed with the next procedure, the bimanual examination. Lubricate the index and middle finger of the dominant hand. Use the thumb and the middle finger to separate the labia. Insert the index and the middle finger of the dominant hand on the vaginal canal in a vertical manner and slowly rotate those fingers into the horizontal axis. Locate and feel the cervix and taking note of its position, shape, consistency, mobility, and tenderness. With the fingers inside the vagina, push up and elevate the cervix and at the same time push down the left hand located at the level of the suprapubic region of the patient, grasping the uterus between the two hands. Note the size, shape, consistency, and mobility of the uterus and identify if there are some masses, nodularities, and tenderness. To feel a retroverted uterus, the fingers inside the vagina are swept to the posterior fornix and the abdominal wall is pressed. Let's check the adnexae. It should be done on both sides. By moving the vaginal fingers into one side of the fornix and the abdominal hand over the patient's iliac fossa, push your abdominal hand down until the structures can be palpated by the vaginal fingers. Note the size, shape, consistency, and mobility and tenderness of the structures. Repeat the same procedure on the other side. Then, remove the inserted finger slowly and checking the vaginal side walls and the posterior surface for tone of muscles and nodularities or masses. Check the removed fingers for presence of feces or discharges and blood. Now let's continue to the third part of the pelvic examination, the rectovaginal exam. Inspect the perianal area and the anal area as well. Gently insert the index finger into the vaginal canal and the middle finger into the anus and evaluate the tonus of the muscles. Palpate the posterior aspect of the uterus and check for any nodularity and thickening of the uterosacral ligaments and any masses or nodules in the cul-de-sac. Then, continue to palpate the anterior and posterior rectal wall for the following: masses, polyps, nodules, strictures, and other irregularities, as well as tenderness. Note the characteristics of the feces when the glove finger is removed, as well as presence or absence of blood. Offer then and pass some tissues to the patient so that she can wipe herself of the remaining lubricant. Thank her for her cooperation during the entire procedure. After completion of the examination, you may want to assist the patient into a sitting position and give her the opportunity to regain her equilibrium. You may want to leave her to dress herself and discuss the findings later in your table. Let us watch the remaining video. Let's proceed with the last pelvic exam, the rectovaginal examination. Inspect the perianal and anal area and check for discoloration, masses, or lesions. Insert the index finger into the vaginal canal and the middle finger into the anus. Explain to her that she might feel an urge to defecate, but it would not happen if she relaxes. Evaluate the anal canal for the tonus of the external sphincter muscle and the anorectal ring at the anorectal junction. Palpate the rectovaginal septum and note the thickness, tone, and presence or absence of nodules in the septum. Palpate the posterior aspect of the uterus by applying pressure against the anterior and lateral walls using the fingers inside the vagina and rectum while applying downward pressure using the hands over the abdomen. Check for nodularity and thickening of the uterosacral ligaments and any masses or nodules in the cul-de-sac. Check also the position of the retroverted uterus by pushing the cul-de-sac upwards. Then, slowly withdraw the examining fingers and palpate the anterior and posterior rectal wall for masses, polyps, or nodules, as well as strictures and other irregularities. After removal of the inserted fingers, check for the presence or absence of feces or blood. Give then some tissues to the patient to wipe herself off the remaining lubricant. After completion of the examination, you may want to assist the patient into a sitting position and give her the opportunity to regain her equilibrium and thank her for her cooperation. Leave her in the examining room to dress herself and discuss the findings later in your table. That ends the instructional video on pelvic examination. Thank you for watching.